Good day. Here are the headlines from the Philippine News Agency. We begin in Singapore, where President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. would attend the International Institute for Strategic Studies Shangri-La Dialogue as part of his working visit to the city-state. Marcos arrived in Singapore on Wednesday afternoon following his two-day visit to Brunei, Darussalam. In an interview, Marcos said his keynote address will discuss the Philippines' strategies towards ensuring regional stability. The president will tout Manila's position on defense and diplomacy amid geopolitical tensions in the Indo-Pacific region. He will also highlight the government's commitment to a rules-based order and constructive multilateralism. Marcos said the West Philippine Sea issue affects not only the Philippines but also the region and the rest of the world, which is why the country's position will be important in the decision-making of policymakers. The Shangri-La Dialogue is Asia's premier defense summit attended by decision-makers and other stakeholders in defense and security from around the world. The dialogue opens tomorrow night, May 31, and will run until June 2.
They asked the Philippine president to come and speak on that very subject is significant in the sense that it is a recognition that there are challenges that are facing the Philippines specifically. And not only the Philippines, but this affects the region and it affects the world. So what I will present in the Shangri-La Forum on the day after tomorrow is going to essentially try to explain the position of the Philippines.
Before leaving for Singapore, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. encouraged leaders in Brunei Darussalam's energy sector to invest in renewable energy in the Philippines. The president cited renewable energy's rising potential in the country, particularly the push for green energy from wastes. More on this from Stephanie Sevillano.
On the last day of his state visit in Brunei Darussalam on Wednesday, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. called on business leaders to invest in Philippine renewable energy. In a forum with players from Brunei's energy sector, Marcos shared the Philippine government's efforts to develop other sources of energy and minimize use of fossil fuels. Among this is the Philippines' interest in waste-to-energy projects, which are currently implemented through local government units. Marcos cited the need for appropriate infrastructure and regulation to harness the energy coming from landfills. President Marcos further told business leaders about the Philippines' direction in developing the energy sector. He said the Philippines is trying to shift from energy production to transmission and then to the distribution side. He said part of the reason for diversifying energy sources are geopolitical concerns, where some of the huge gas and oil deposits are located in conflict areas of the West Philippine Sea. He said the government is working to solve issues in power transmission by tapping the sovereign fund to finance the production and installation of transmission lines. Marcos also told the forum the government is trying to improve power availability as well as the cost and efficiency of distribution. Aside from discussing investment opportunities, the forum centered on sharing expertise and technological advancements in oil, gas, renewable energy, sustainable practices, and future energy projects. Among those who met with the president were representatives from Brunei Shell Petroleum, Brunei LNG, Total Energies, Sericandi Oilfield Services, and Adenine Group of Companies. Meanwhile, President Marcos vowed to boost the retraining program for displaced overseas Filipino workers who lost their jobs or are unable to return to work. Marcos said the government has programs to reintegrate OFWs who lost their jobs into the local workforce. Among these are retraining, upskilling, and reskilling programs from TESDA, as well as the TUPAD or Tulong Panghanap Buhay sa Ating Disadvantaged Displaced Workers. He said the government also provides outright support for OFWs such as livelihood programs under TESDA and the Department of Labor and Employment. For the Pna Headlines, I am Stephanie Sevillano.
The Department of Environment and Natural Resources turned over on Wednesday 11 units of backhoes-on-barge to local government units to be used for the continuing rehabilitation of Manila Bay. Environment Secretary Antonia Yulo Loizaga led the turnover of the backhoes-on-barge at the Villar Sipag Farm School in Bacoor City. The recipients of the local government units of Malabon, Marikina, Muntinlupa, Pasay, Pasig, Pateros, Quezon City, Taguig, San Fernando in Pampanga, Obando in Bulacan, and Bacoor in Cavite. This equipment will be used to clean up coastal areas, rivers, and waterways flowing out to the Manila Bay under a project worth 491 million pesos. In a speech, Loizaga also encouraged the beneficiaries to clean up the waterways and coastal areas of Manila Bay, not only to improve the health of their communities, but also to help prevent floods. The Manila Bay Rehabilitation Project was mandated by the Supreme Court in a continuing mandamus order dated December 18, 2008. This led to the creation of the Manila Bay Rehabilitation Task Force in 2019. More than 1.1 million cubic meters of solid waste and silt have been dredged in water systems leading to Manila Bay. The election fever is also looming as the Commission on Elections has released the schedule of activities for next year's midterm polls. Under Resolution number 10999, the Comelec and Bank set the election period from January 12 to June 11, 2025, during which a nationwide gun ban will be in effect. The campaign period for national candidates, including senators and party lists, will run from February 11 to May 10, 2025. Local candidates will have their campaign period from March 28 to May 10, 2025. Overseas voting will take place from April 13 to May 12, 2025, while local absentee voting runs from April 28 to April 30, 2025. National and local bets may file their respective certificates of candidacy or COCs from October 1 to 8. During this period, party list groups can also submit their certificates of nomination and acceptance of nomination. Substitute candidates have until October 8 to file their COCs, with substitutions due to disqualification or death allowed up to midday on election day. And finally, don't miss the election day on May 12, 2025. Time to bring out those umbrellas and jackets as the rains are here. The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration, or PAGASA, officially declared the start of the country's wet season. In a statement, PAGASA said the recent occurrence of scattered rain showers, frequent thunderstorms, and the passage of Typhoon Aghon and the southwest monsoon over the past few days have brought significant rains over the western sections of Luzon and Visayas, signifying the entry of the rainy season. PAGASA has advised the public and concerned agencies to prepare for potential adverse impacts, including floods and rain-induced landslides and monsoon breaks, or reduced rainfall could extend over a few days or weeks. Meanwhile, several areas in Luzon will experience rain showers due to the southwest monsoon or Habagat and the frontal system. The Habagat will bring scattered rain showers and thunderstorms over Ilocos Region, Zambales, Bataan, Occidental Mindoro, and Palawan. Meanwhile, Batanes and Babuyan Islands will experience scattered rain showers and thunderstorms due to the frontal system. Isolated rain showers caused by localized thunderstorms are expected in the rest of the country. Moderate winds and moderate seas will prevail across Luzon, while other regions will experience light to moderate winds and slight to moderate seas. Despite the onset of the rainy season, PAGASA still forecasts dangerously high-level heat indices, peaking at 47 degrees in Apari, Cagayan, and Baler Aurora Province, and 46 degrees in ISU Etiague in Isabela and Casiguran, Aurora. Other areas are forecasted to experience 42 to 45 degree heat index, including Lawag City, Ilocos Norte, Tuguegarao City, Cagayan, Virac, Catanduanes, Giwan, Eastern Samar, Butuan City, Agusan del Norte, Sinait, Ilocos Sur, Dagupan City, Pangasinan, MMSU Batac, Ilocos Norte, Bacnotan, La Union, Sangli Point, Cavite, Catarman, Northern Samar, Catbalogan, Samar, Tacloban City, Leyte, Ambulong, Tanawan, Batangas, Infanta, Quezon, Alabat, Quezon, Daet, Camarines Norte, CBSUA, Pili, Camarines Sur, Borongan, Eastern Samar, Maasin, Southern Leyte, Naiya, Calapan, Oriental Mindoro, Masbate City, Huban, Sorsogon, Roas City, Capiz, Mambusaw, Capiz, Iloilo City, Iloilo City, Dumangas, Iloilo, Dumaguete City, Panglao International Airport in Bohol, Mactan International Airport in Cebu, Siquijor, VSU Baybay Leyte, Dipolog, Zamboanga del Norte, and Cotabato City. And that's the latest and the biggest stories on the PNA headlines. For more news updates, please visit our website, pna.gov.ph, or our Facebook and X account, Philippine News Agency. The PNA Headlines is also streamed via the Servicio Facebook page. You may also watch the PNA Headlines through the Philippine News Agency's YouTube account, via the News and Information Bureau website, nib.gov.ph, under PNA News, or on the Facebook page of the Presidential Communications Office, or PCO. I am Wilnard Bacelonia, and this is the PNA Headlines, bringing stories that unite the nation.